We're going to call the meeting to order. It is 7 o'clock. Our first item is our flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, a roll call.
Okay, Ms. Ballmacher,
Here.
Ms. Compatello,
Here.
Ms. Pakalnik? Is that you?
No, she's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Hove? Here. Mr. Marks?
Here.
Mr. Oliverio?
Here.
Ms. Pakalnik is not here. Mr. Wozniak?
Here.
Mayor Perry? Here. Solicitor Corbel? Here. We now have Engineer Haberman? Here. Director Tedesco? Here. And myself. We do have a quorum.
Great. All right, we have the consent agenda. So we have the council meeting minutes from May 14th, 2026. We also have the bill list from today. And we also have all of the reports now on the OneDrive. So looking for a motion to approve the May 28th, 2026 consent agenda pending bill list approval by the borough president, manager, and treasurer.
So moved.
Second.
Who was
That
it?
was me.
You. Okay, I looked over here.
I
Okay.
can throw my voice.
Yes, so, geez. Ms. Bollenbacher and second was Mr. Hope. Okay, any questions or discussion?
So that note might be worth noting, we didn't get the code report. It's supposed to show up tomorrow, so I don't know if we can
Yeah, we can
vote on that one tonight.
Okay. So we'll take out the code report off of here. Okay. So the motion is minus the code report.
Yep.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now it's public comments on the agenda items. At this time, citizens may address the Crafton Borough Council on any issue appearing on today's agenda. Only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Crafton will be permitted to address the council. Comments on non-agenda items will be taken at the end of tonight's meeting. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson to represent them before the council, who may speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. Council has the option to respond or not at the end of the address. When solicitors are assigned timekeeper, please state your name and physical address for the record. All right, we have 2 people. Okay. They're both on building code. I don't know if those are on the agenda. They're not on the agenda. Okay, so we will hold those until the end of the meeting since they're not on the agenda. Anybody online, please raise your hand. Hope it's just us. Okay. President's report. First item is the construction projects. As always, asking for patience during all of our construction we have going on through the borough. As I said before, it's getting more and more intense. There's going to be more detours and more construction, but as we've seen on a lot of the roads that have already been completed, they look very nice. Sidewalks, all of those things look very good, even after the sewer projects here. So again, asking for patience, and there's going to be more with our parks coming up in the future. So be prepared for more construction, but all good infrastructure improvements. That concludes my report. Next is our mayor's report.
Yeah, so I'd like to mention the really lovely Memorial Day Remembrance celebration last Monday. This is a ceremony that's been taking place for 20 years or more, originated by a group of American Legion members who and that involves reading the names of all of the people throughout all of our conflicts who have lost their lives in the line of duty. We have a memorial in front of the Borough building that many of you know about, and on that memorial, every one of those names appears. And the ceremony is every one of those names is read, a bell is rung. The idea is to commemorate them and and to keep their memory going forward. This year, there was a great handoff between the American Legion to the Boy Scout troops, and they did a great job. So I just wanted to do a shout out to the Boy Scout troops and to the remaining members of the American Legion. And I have been very honored since I've been mayor to be one of the readers of the names, and it's always very touching. And it's always nice to see members of our community come out and acknowledge this and take a few minutes out of their day. That's it for me.
Thank you, Ms. Perry. All right, solicitors report.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will hold a brief executive session following the meeting to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, and property matters. That's the end of my report.
Right. Manager's report, Mr. Price.
Okay, thank you. First on my list is 30 Elmwood. This is for demolition of the burned house on Elmwood Street or Elmwood Ave. I did finally get final bid dates and whatnot for this is going out the bid. So it is going to be funded. It is going out the bid on July 9th with the other group of demolitions. We'll get that back on July 24th. And then we pass it. We do anticipate that whoever gets that contract, it'll probably be another 3 to 4 months before it's actually torn down. So we're looking at an October, November date for that to be demolished. So that's the update there. The next update is a wage resolution for seasonal employees. All changes made in this proposed resolution were accounted for in the 2026 budget process, except for the increases to the swim coach stipend. We are increasing that from $1,000, from $500 to $1,000, primarily because we discovered that with the hours they work, they were making, even with the assistance they get from the crocodiles, which also help pay for them, we were still paying them under what they should be paid based on minimum wage. So with that, I'd like a motion to approve resolution 2026-10, establishing the salary and wage rates for certain seasonal positions for the Crafton Public Pool and Department of Public Works.
So moved.
Mr. Marks?
Second.
Okay, Ms. Compitello. Questions or discussion, one I had was, can you explain what the stipend is? Because they get an hourly wage and then how it
Well,
works.
they don't get an hourly wage. They go.
Oh, that's right, because they're the
So
instructors.
coaches only get a stipend. They come in for 3 to 3.5 hours every day, coach in the morning, 5 days a week for 8 weeks. So they end up working about 140 hours over the course of that time. And with that pay, they weren't even making, I think might have been below minimum wage, so. But that's how the stipend works.
I do have a question. We say certain seasonal positions, what those positions are?
Yeah, the seasonal positions addressed in this are gonna be the pool positions and the public works seasonal positions. Crossing guards are covered in the other wage resolution. So we do a regular wage resolution, and this is just for seasonal and part-time employees.
Those are not changing, right?
No,
None of those,
unless they were
yeah.
budgeted.
Right.
The ones that were budgeted are changing, and I don't have a list in front of me of what those were.
I have them here, but yeah. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Thank you. Next up on my list is the vacant property recovery program application. We received one from an applicant, Susan Prim, who lives at 276, and he's bringing this up on the board here now. 276 Ewing Road. This was actually applied for last year, and we've had several conversations about this with Steve because of the issue with DeSoto Road. So the property that is where Susan lives, who wants to buy the property. The adjacent property is actually across DeSoto. It's that where it's highlighting right now. So we do have a road crossing through it. And in discussions with Steve, she actually had a survey done for all 6 of the properties that she eventually wants to buy. And these have all been tax delinquent since the 1800s because they were planned out. They're very steep, so no one's ever going to be able to buy them to put a house on them because of how steep they are. But they're basically, they can be an extension of her yard, which is why she wants them. So I advise we do it. And if we need to get a letter stating that she'll approve us taking and making that DeSoto Road official, we can also do that. Or get easements, but I think the best route is going to be the process of trying to make that road official. So let her take the property now. And then she might apply for 2 more properties as well, which would put money back on the tax rolls and allow the borough to collect more taxes for these properties, but then she would own them and be able to control them. And she'll give us permission with the road.
Right, and it's only the property across her, right there. Yeah,
Right, well, it's on both sides of the road, but yes,
that's the only
that's the
property.
only
And
property.
I think it was, the purchase price was 8,000 to 15,000 or
Yeah,
something.
based on the assessment, the
Mhm.
assessed value, but we don't collect any of that money.
Right.
That money all goes to the county.
But it would go back onto the tax rolls because I think the owner was from 1928. Was listed.
Was it 1920?
Mhm.
Okay, I thought that
Yeah.
was- but-
And
Yeah.
so then that goes back, I mean, it's not a lot of taxes, but it goes back on the tax rolls. then.
Yep.
So DeSoto, you said we are going to make it official or we're going to
Yeah.
vacate it?
Make it official. I mean, it is a road that is, that we use as access. We wouldn't be able to vacate it. Because it's an access point for several properties down in the valley that use it pretty regularly, actually. There's a person who has a farm down there that regularly uses it. Duncan regularly uses it. So I wouldn't want to vacate it. But I mean, we don't have to decide what to do with the road right now. Just that she had said she would absolutely support anything that we wanted.
So she would have additional yard, but it would be on the other side of the road.
Exactly.
Because the plot does not actually show the road necessarily, it just shows the square. So she would get majority of the square, then that little corner, but the borough would own the street
The street itself, yeah.
and crossing her property.
Yeah.
So this is to approve the application, then what's the next steps?
Nothing for us. She buys it, it goes back to the county. The county goes through the process of selling it to her and then she owns it.
And so do we have an easement for DeSoto Street?
No, we don't. We don't have an easement, but we've also had possession of that road. We've been using that road for 50+ years. So, and if you'd like, we can get a letter stating that fact that we can have it. Yep.
I'm sorry, I find the idea, I'm a little confused here.
Yeah.
We're talking about this property that's north of DeSoto?
No, it's that.
No, the red dot is the person who's applying for the thing. She already owns that
She wants
parcel.
this parcel.
She wants that parcel.
Okay.
Correct.
So most of it is not across the road. It's just a little corner of it that's on the other side.
Yeah, across DeSoto, correct.
Her property is actually huge. It's an L.
Yeah.
So if you look at the red dot, it goes the whole way up. It's a huge L.
But the concern is that because DeSoto is not an official borough road,
Right.
that she would technically own that section of the road. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Unless we created a letter to then,
right.
or something to vote. Is that correct?
So, my view on this is that there is no recorded easement,
Yeah.
but the borough and others who use that, we'll call it a road, I suppose. It's not an official road. We have what's called a prescriptive easement, and that's because of the use of that way for many, many decades. So she could, if she closed it, we would likely have a legal right to have her open it. But what I told Jim is the best way to approach it, in my view, is that the whole length of that road is accepted by the borough as an official borough street. And then there's no question as to who owns the street. Easements, they're fine, but it's not the best way to go about acquiring that right of way, if you will. So that was my take on it. So there is an easement, it's not recorded, which makes it messier. And the best way to deal with this is to simply accept the road, have it dedicated to the borough. We probably need some surveys, et cetera, but it's an ordinance process that we can go through
Well, and
later this year.
as a result of that advice, she has had a survey done for all of those properties.
Perfect.
So we don't even have to pay for it. It's just a matter of, and we could have her sign a letter before we send this to the county stating that she agrees to be a participant in the process of us taking the road, making it official.
Yeah, my recommendation is that we just make our approval conditioned upon that.
Yeah.
Meaning that she will continue to allow access to the borough and others who have historically accessed that road. And then we can take care of it on a permanent basis as we move forward. We would probably want to wait until after she acquires it, but not 100% necessary if council would like to move sooner.
So there are residents further down the road that need to use that road to get to their residence.
It's not for the residents. There's no residents down there, but there are properties that are owned by people. I don't know if they live in property owners from the borough, so I would call them residents. Some of them live in the borough. I think some of them don't. There's only a few plots down there, but they do utilize them fairly often.
Yeah.
Actually. So
So they wouldn't have any paperwork saying that agreements.
Not to my knowledge.
no, because it's never been formalized.
There was really, anybody that could have agreed to that has long passed away. So that's why we're looking at that prescriptive easement, which is a legal, mechanism that would allow access to and from properties connected by DeSoto.
And as soon as she takes ownership this way, she's going to immediately apply for 2 more of those properties through the vacant property recovery program. So, and the only reason she's only applying for 2 is you're only allowed to apply for 2 at a time. Otherwise, she'd apply for all 5 that are there in a row.
Jim, she mentions in her application a shed, and when I was looking at Google Street View, it looked like there is something.
Yeah, she
on that
already
property.
has-
Is that hers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure it wasn't
Yeah.
somebody else's.
No, it's hers.
I hope not.
Yeah.
It's hers, yeah.
So if we look at the motion, because we want to make a revision to that, what would you recommend as a revision?
It should just say subject to the applicant's agreement to permit continuing access to DeSoto Street.
Yes, and the motion would be to approve the application to acquire the vacant lot, Ewing Road, with the lot and block number 6AJ80 through Allegheny County's Vacant Property Recovery Program, subject to applicants to permit
Agreement.
to permit continuing access to DeSoto Street.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Marks and Ms. Comptello, any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Okay, and that concludes my report. I did want to make one other statement too. I want to apologize for some of the traffic issues we've had this week. There's been miscommunication several times with our contractor that their different teams were not talking when they shut off roads, even if they only shut them off temporarily, because they did several times shut them off temporarily when those were the only 2 ways to get out of an area. So they're well aware now of where those areas are, and so hopefully they don't happen again. But and they have been warned several times. So
Several times. So I'll start with, I appreciate your initial comments, Mr. Oliverio, on patience with all of the infrastructure that's happening. I'll start with the Broadhead Sewer Project. The concrete work has continued this week on Park. Trench work has moved to North Linwood and North Emily. Belvedere concrete curb installation has also begun. The brick restoration is continuing on Grinnell, and the trail, Crafton Boulevard, half of Coulter and Warren have been final paved. The Coulter work was stopped due to weather issues. We're still expecting project completion in or about October of this year, if not sooner. The contractor certainly is trying to move along, and as long as weather cooperates, they will continue to do so. And Scott Baker from our office, along with Mr. Price, continue to meet weekly with the contractor every Friday, just to get updates on their schedule for the next week, to make sure we try to nip some of these issues in the bud with traffic control and some of those other things. And then the webpage is being updated continually as well.
Can I ask a question about the trail? So I drive up that street a fair bit, and I've seen a fair bit on social media. And I'm just wondering if there is any plan to put any kind of barricade to keep vehicles from going down, because right now it looks like a street.
Yes, we do. I have not dealt with that yet. But we can get that. So we're gonna put those orange water-filled barricades for now, and then
Okay.
we're gonna look at putting what kind of fencing we want to put up there. Because you do need to have access for.
Right, for emergency vehicles.
And Alpha So we might just put one of those fences that were
They can
also
just open.
on Baker's Acres.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we had not made the decision to do that yet.
Okay.
Thank you for.
Thank you.
For the Perrine Street Sewer Project, I'll just ask Jim to update on that one.
Yeah, I owe Steve a document, and then they're moving forward with the eminent domain. I think I owe you.
We just need
The ordinance, right?
from the city, yeah, we just need their paperwork.
Yeah.
And then we can file in court.
C20 sewer separation, the contractor has completed all of the punch list items, so that project is essentially complete. We're just waiting on their closeout documents, maintenance bonds and so forth, and then the final pay app will make its way to you folks.
And I just want to give a heads up, we did just receive, which neither Gateway or us were very happy about, but we just received notice from the gas company today that they are starting work on Steuben through the entire area. And just to be clear, we had several conversations with them over the last 2 years that they should have moved this project up and gone in with us, and they didn't. So they're gonna be doing work on Steuben starting in July, or starting on June 22nd. So just want to give everybody a heads up, and we'll make it a point to contact them and make sure that we get as much information out as often, but they are running a line all the way down from basically the beginning of the shopping center all the way to the bridge.
I say we should probably stay on top of them too, to make sure it gets restored the way that
Yeah.
that it looks like once we're done, because we end up with a million patches and it's just going to be a waste of money.
Yep.
And I think there's probably a reason they're doing it, which is the line.
Well, it needs to be done, but
Yeah,
They should have.
But they should have
have
done
done it with us.
Yeah.
Or at least the portion that was where we were doing it.
yeah.
Agreed. The DPW building, that work is complete. A punch list walk was completed last Tuesday. So there are items, punch list items that need to be taken care of by each of the contractors. Those should be completed. This says by the end of the month, but that's tomorrow. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
presumably it's by the end of June, but probably sooner. And then those 4 contracts will need their closeout documents, and final pay apps will make their way here as well. The sewer system, the O&M projects, contract A, which is excavation and point repairs. All the repairs are complete. There is some final restoration and milling and paving that still needs to be completed on those. And then update today on contract B, which is manhole to manhole lining. They have started their CCTV work, and they'll be starting lining in June. Noble and Linwood Parks, these are $500,000 project total, $250,000 in grants. We're finalizing those plans and other documents to go out to bid in June. We're waiting on some supplemental survey that Jim has authorized. As soon as we get that supplemental survey, we'll be able to finalize those plans and start putting all the bid documents together. So look for that in June. Ewing Road, pre-construction meeting was held on May 19th. We're still waiting on the schedule from the contractor. When we have that, they did tell us that it should take them, they should be in and out of there no longer than a week. So we'll let you know as soon as we hear from them when that's going to be, so that we can get that information out to the folks down there. Crafton Boulevard improvements, that's the LSA grant that went out to bid and then the bids were rejected. That grant has been extended. So we're coordinating, Jim is with next steps with the city on that, kind of in conjunction with the other streetscape project grant that's item J. Item I, I'll go back to you again, Mr. Price, on the storm detention clean out.
Yeah.
I know we talked, but.
Yeah, so we had a independent contract, or who did do it? Was it Robinson?
Yeah.
Robinson did that. Robinson had two crew, they did 2 days of work on the 21st and 22nd to clean that detention area out. They had two crews working on Thursday and one crew working on Friday, and they still had a significant amount of work left. So they actually went down today with one crew with 4 people on it. So hopefully they're close to complete if they're not already complete. And now we know now that if we did this every year, this wouldn't have cost as much, but this is probably gonna be a $15,000 to $20,000 cost this time around. But we anticipate it costing 5 to 7 if we do it annually. So it was more material than we expected.
Crafton Elementary Boulevard Streetscape Project grant, that's really, there's been waiting on that funding to come and materialize, and Jim's working on set a meeting up with the school district and the city on that. So certainly more to come on that in the future. 2026 road paving and brick, we'll flip to the next page. I'll start with the brick repairs. All of the work is complete except for the work on North Grandview. The water company will complete their work first, and then the brick and concrete work will be completed after that. And then all the paving is kind of in conjunction, a lot of it is in conjunction with the Broadhead separation project that I mentioned earlier. Crafton Boulevard is completed except for the speed humps. Broadhead Avenue is still to come. Warren Street is done. Park Street will follow the concrete work and sidewalks. Colzer Street is half complete. Cornell brick trench repair, they're working on. North Linwood, same thing, trench repair, they're working on that. Rebecca Street still needs node and paved. And then North Emily and Belvedere, Belvedere needs full reconstruction after finishing the pipe installation. And their contractors waiting on the gas company to relocate a gas line in order to finish their work. And they're working on curb and sidewalk now. And is the conclusion of the engineer's report.
Any questions for Scott?
Mike.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I just briefly go, and I don't want to take too much time to go back to the Noble and Linwood Parks project. Just because I've been hearing some noise about the condition of those parks.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to kind of review that this has been something that's been in process for quite a long time, working towards that there was the master parks plan a number of years ago. Coming out of that, the decision to do some work on both of these parks, and then applying for grants, and then finally getting the grants, and then a lot of back and forth and design work on how do we split the money equitably between the two.
Yeah.
So there are plans in the works, and we're looking to actually have work done this year.
Oh, yeah.
This year.
Yeah, the work itself is not all that elaborate, so it actually won't take probably that much time to complete. We do plan to go out to bid by the next meeting. So we're looking at
It'll get the contract signed and a function of ordering, all of the equipment and everything that's gonna go in, so that the schedule will be dependent on getting those things.
Right, and so there's going to be improvements. One of the things that I've been hearing a little bit about is the condition of the basketball court, and I know we've had lots and lots of discussions about what we're going to do with that.
Yeah, that's getting resurfaced. Yep.
All right. Thank you very
And
much.
lighting added and a few.
And making sure everything's ADA accessible because of the grant, so there's upgrades associated with that as well.
So several years in the works, but it's going to come to fruition finally this year.
Yep, finally.
All right, thank you.
Oh. They're maybe just 4 years closer than I was there.
Oh, okay. All right, were you able to hear what I had to say?
No.
Oh, all right. So basically, let me run through that again.
Can you hear her now? Okay.
Okay. All right. So basically what I was talking about is revisiting a little more depth on the Noble and Linwood Parks. Because there's been some complaints and some activity about the condition of those two parklets. And what I was stating was that it's been a number of years in process that we had a master parks planning grant a number of years ago where these two parklets were identified as areas that we wanted to improve. And then coming out of that, there were applications for grants for those two parklets. And that took some time. And then once we got notice that we did have the grant, then more planning had to be done. And that we are close to the point where the work will actually get done. It will get done this year. And it will include resurfacing the basketball court.
Correct.
So I think that's pretty much everything I said before. All right.
I know we had heard too, I know it's been raining a lot, but some folks were complaining about like the grass and some of those smaller parks. I don't know if hopefully Public Works has gotten on top of it since, but.
I think they may have been mowed today, and if they were not mowed today, they will get done tomorrow. Yep, it's been a battle of getting the pool ready and work done, and then trying to get the other work done, but then it rains. And so it's
Can't mow. Yeah.
Start and stop battle this week.
But
And then
looks
as
like
far,
we've got some good weather coming.
Yep, finally.
yeah, hopefully. All the construction work and stuff that we've going on, I know there's been some complaints about like unpredictable, I know you said there were some coordination issues and some other things. I mean, is there something we could do better to let folks know when they wake up in the morning, which sections of what are going to be closed when? Because it seems like folks are rolling the dice every morning and not quite sure whether they're going to have to turn around on one-way streets because like certain parts have been closed or
Yeah, we have made them in no uncertain terms that if they are closing down Linwood, they cannot close down Broadhead, and if they're closing down Broadhead, they cannot close down Linwood. And they have not been generally they've been good about that until this last week. They also had pavers there that they're subs, so they're a different crew, and I think that ended up causing problems too. So hopefully we've let them know, we've communicated it well enough, and I meet with them tomorrow too, and we'll make it very clear to them that can't be happening. And if they're closing down Linwood, they have to have detours on Crafton Boulevard, which they have not done every time. So, yeah.
it's only a matter of time before we get reports of like, you're the reason I didn't get to work today and lost my job. And I mean, and all those are fair, right? Like if you box people in and don't give them a way out, then like, what are they supposed to do? But to try to avoid that.
I will just say it has been annoying to have all of the construction, but it is necessary to improve those roads. I got stuck in that excessive road closures and I was trying to get across town. But the flagger was very, very friendly. And I really appreciated that. They did a very good job. They came over to the window and they helped navigate through. The flagger was very friendly. Did a good job.
All right, Community and Economic Development Directors, Vesco.
Evening, everybody. Thank you. 3 quick items. Item A, 82 Belvedere conservatorship. That is one of 2 property conversations we will have in executive session this evening. There is an update on that. It's brief, but very much worth talking about. Item B, Tricog Land Bank. Let me share the screen. There is news to report there. And pull up this doc. I think everybody is familiar with the list of 5 land bank properties that the land bank board was considering to pursue. The evening of their board vote for the properties, they ended up approving 10 properties total, 2 in Clarendon, 3 in Homestead, and the other 5 from Crafton. So all 5 of these properties, they are going to run a title search on all of them. And if there's no crazy big red flags coming out of that research, essentially on a per parcel basis, then we will get notices informing us of their intent to pursue ownership of the properties.
What does that mean?
That means the land bank.
Mike,
Land bank will want them.
excuse me. Yeah, there's not questions until the end.
So that's great news, and we'll see how it goes and see what the title searches bring up. I'm gonna stop sharing this now. And then the third item, it's really amazing how this is item C, how council could pass a resolution calling ourselves a bird town, and then all of a sudden people just start sending us money. Yeah. We spent the first $1,000 in Bird Town grants, and they've offered us another $1,000 in grants. So now we're up to 2. We should pass a resolution calling ourselves Fun Town, maybe, and see what happens. Or anytime we want. So anyway, that's good news. It's great when people just send us money and they're offering, and we're just like, well, okay, yeah, we'll keep spending money for bird habitat and restoration and education and all those fun things. So the Tree Commission is having a lot of fun discussing all things bird towns, and we're spending money. So that concludes.
You want to talk about what we spent the $1,000 on?
Sure. Yes. So we partnered with the library to build field packs for adults and youth to check out from the library. That include binoculars, bird guides, journals, binoculars, bird guides, adult and child binoculars, bird guides and journals. We bought a ton of games and puzzles for the library. And I'm missing things.
More books.
A lot of books. Yes.
Books
A
for
lot
the
of
library, check out about birds and to read about them. And
yes. Oh, bird houses as well.
Oh,
we
right.
bought a whole bundle of bird houses that the library will put on a kids youth centric your bird, come to the library birdhouse.
Did you buy any with the video? Have you seen those birdhouses where they record the birds so you can see what's feeding out of them?
We talked about them. So part of the trick is not all birds like certain bird houses, like certain birds like certain bird houses. So we have to be careful when the kids put them together that they're going to attract certain birds, because some birds won't even go into them because they have to have the right hole and they can't be access to predators and everything else.
What's that have to do with the video?
The video, well, that's making sure the birds come there. Otherwise, the video won't have anything on it. So feeders will do that, but then feeders attract a lot of rodents and other folks too. But we did talk about videos, and we'll be meeting on Tuesday, 6 o'clock. So everybody's able to come. It's a public meeting in the community center, or in the room next to here, and everybody can come, and we're going to be talking about the next $1,000 and what we want to do with that. And I think a lot of it has to do with educational programs, some tours and walks and all of those things. So more to come.
More to come.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I'd like to add something that for Belvedere and the Tri-Cog, we had been, I showed a couple weeks ago that, or a couple meetings ago, that had been working on a evaluation tool to analyze what the model would look like going the Tri-Cog, the land bank route, and also the conservatorship route. I continue to work on that tool. I've had meetings with staff. We'll have some more meetings tomorrow with staff. We'll have some meetings with council as well. And just wanted to update everybody that we're continuing to work on that tool, and that tool will help us then make a good decision on the tangible aspects of both of these types of models as far as blighted property. And so I will continue to update everybody on that, and hopefully be able to speak with everybody on that.
All right, standing committee report.
Real quick, on the land bank, are we at the point where we've entered like whatever period of time where, okay, I wasn't, that happens after the title searches, and okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Maybe finish the question so people know.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So there's like a time period after the Tri-Cog land bank makes decisions about whether they would accept these properties into the program and then help us, mitigate rehab, et cetera. And council has 60 days from that time to decide whether or not we're on board with that. And if we do nothing, then it becomes like the land banks to deal with.
After they've actually taken purchase of it.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just curious if we had reached that window of time where we have to be aware that the clock is ticking, and it seems like we have until the title search finishes and then we're aware that.
You can ask questions at the end of the meeting.
Standing committee reports, finance administration, sustainability, Mr. Hope.
Thank you. The Finance Administration Sustainability Committee has met since the past council meeting. As usual, we continue to look at the individual fund balances compared to budget. All of those numbers are there. I'm not going to read through a spreadsheet, but if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. Also, Public Works, we did roughly touch on that we'll be speaking somewhat in executive session about that, but those are ongoing. Overall, finances are good. Unless anybody has any specific questions, I don't have anything else to report, so.
Thank you, Mr. Hope. All right, infrastructure and land use, Ms. Confello.
Okay, the Infrastructure and Land Use Committee hasn't met since the last council meeting. We meet monthly, so we met before the last one. No major updates today. The DCNR pool area improvement grant. Again, we've spoken about that over the past few meetings, and there are no new updates this time. We do have some funding to make some upgrades to the pool. A few of those smaller updates will be happening while it's open, but the main ones will be occurring after the season. None of those upgrades or improvements will affect or impact any of the opening hours or functioning of the pool throughout the season. DCED's $325,000 grant, that is for our pedestrian and other business district improvements. Also, again, no new updates at this meeting, but just as we've been saying the last few months, we are getting very close to finalizing those for approval. We'll be going out to bid. We've had a long process to have a lot of community input on how we spend that money, but the actual construction itself should go fairly quickly once we get it out to bid. And designs are being finalized for approval at the first June meeting. And I'll just add, beyond that, and this came up earlier, the mayor already mentioned, with the parks, as well as with this DCED grant. These were some of the things that were discussed at the last infrastructure meeting, and we did ask that the engineer really prioritize getting those out to bid quickly. So I'm very happy to see that those are on track to be out in June, and that was the schedule we discussed. So I really appreciate that. We know that there's a lot of community interest in seeing those projects done, and they are on track.
Good. Thank you, Ms. Confello. Communication Recreation, Ms. Bolenbacher.
About our upcoming community events, this Saturday is our summer kickoff celebration. It will be 12 to 3. We will have the Felix Amendola Bocce Court dedication in the park at noon. There will be a dedication ceremony, followed by some bocce lessons. There will be some raffles. They will be raffling off a free bocce set as well as a summer pool pass. Mini golf will be open for the day. That will also be free of charge, as well as Rita's Italian Ice will be there giving out some free Italian ice. There is, aside from the bocce court itself, I do believe we also got some new benches, as well as a new plaque, a new dedication plaque. So, and the pool will be open. Hopefully this time the weather does look like it's going to finally cooperate. So hopefully Pittsburgh won't do its usual twist and change its minds. Everybody come out this Saturday to celebrate summer. Next up, we have the 4th of July celebration on Saturday, July 4th, from 5 p.m. until the conclusion of the fireworks. We have 2 bands this year. Thanks to our sponsorship by Huntington Bank, as well as Crafton's American Legion Post. We got a little extra money for our celebration. So we're going to have music by both Mingo Creek and the Wiggins. The food trucks this year so far include Ray's Pizza and Food Trailer, Pittsburgh Crepes, Hermes Food Truck, Twisted Lemonades, and Back Alley Brewing. Aside from lawn games, we also have some balloon artists, face painting, airbrush tattoos, inflatable obstacle course. We'll have a juggler, flow artist, and a stilt walker, as well as a bubble house. And George Washington will be making a cameo, as well as maybe some of his friends as well. We don't know yet. We're still in the process of seeing who else wants to show up. But George will be there hanging around, shaking hands and taking pictures. Mini golf will also be open that day as well. So go ahead and partake. Upcoming Things to keep an eye on with more details to come. Fall Fest will be Saturday, September 26th from 12 to 6. So far, what we do know is Mingo Creek will be returning for that as well. We have confirmed so far axe throwing, balloon artists, face painting, and the puppy parade will be making its return as well. We do have some food trucks and vendors lined up, but not too many yet. So I will have more details as we get closer to that. And there will be more details to come as well. We are having our Halloween 21 and over pop-up event at Mini Golf in sometime in October. Again, we don't have a date or any details on that, but I will bring them as I get them. Celebration of Lights will be Saturday, December 5th. We are moving the main festivities down to the circle rather than the park this year. The park will still be part of it, but we thought it would be more interesting to just make it a little different this year, get some of the businesses involved and things like that. So once again, more details will come as we get closer. And the holiday house tour will now be the same weekend. It'll be the next day, Sunday, December 6th. We are looking for homes now. So if you want to show off your beautiful Crafton home and your Christmas decorations, your holiday decorations, just go to our Crafton Borough website, go to community events and contact Rec Board, because we can't have a tour if we don't have houses. So please, if you have a beautiful house, help us out. As always, volunteers are needed for any and all of these events. We're only looking for an hour or two of your time. If you're planning on coming to spend the day with us, why not help us out for an hour or two? Again, just go to the Crafton Borough website, click on craftonborough.gov/events, and you will see a link. They'll reach out to you, let you know what kind of help we need. You're welcome to say yes or no for how long or how short of a time you want to help. But any help is helpful. Ongoing events, yoga in the park is back starting this Saturday at 10 a.m. and that will run through September. The only day that we will not be having yoga in the park will be July 4th. It's just a little too busy in the park. We're going to give the yoga instructor a break.
In September 26th.
No, we're keeping it.
Oh, we're keeping that one.
We're keeping
Okay,
it.
that updates it. Okay.
Yep. And mini golf again is returning this summer for Fridays and Saturdays, starting with June, running through September, with also our special days like the summer kickoff this Saturday, the pop-up in October, and Fall Fest. And the different hours on 4th of July. It'll be all day instead of just a couple hours in the evening. Any questions on any of the events?
Do you still need volunteers for the mini golf?
We may. Mary hasn't given us the dates yet, but we may need some help with running mini golf this summer once we have the dates. I think there's at least 1 or 2 dates that we're going to use some help. So as soon as I know what those dates are, I'll let you know. That just means you run the mini golf. You give people their golf clubs and golf ball. You take their pay and you collect the golf club when they're done. It's really not that hard. Mary's happy to give you an orientation. Other than that, we have our newsletter that is going to go to print this Monday. So you should see it in your mailbox next week. And then just as a reminder, on our community event calendar on our website, there are many other community events that I did not mention here. We've got the community garden, the library always has something going on. So check it out, see what we're doing. We got a lot going on this summer. And unless anybody has any questions, that is it for my report.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Bolenbacher. Board and Commission recruiting, Ms. Compitello.
Right, we have a couple of current open positions. As always, you can apply for these on our website at craftonborough.gov/boards commissions. That has the information about each of the positions, the link to apply, and also more information about what each position entails. First of all, we have a seat on our rec board. This is a 4-year term. Term will expire February 28, 2030. We encourage people to apply for our rec board. They've got a lot going on. They need the help. Secondly, we have on the Civil Service Commission, we have a 6-year alternate seat. This is a term that will expire in 2032. And then third, we have a seat on our Planning Commission. This will be a 4-year term that will expire in April of 2028. So those are our 3 open positions. If you're interested in any of those, go over to our website and submit an application. We also have upcoming positions that are going to become available later in 2026. A Civil Service Commission 6-year term regular seat. This one will become open in July 2026, July 1st. And then another seat on our Recreation Board, a 4-year term that will start in September of 2026. not too early to start thinking about applying for those.
I should move the civil service up. It's 45-day window, so that one people can start applying for the regular seat too now.
Yeah, we are close enough.
Yeah.
So that regular seat, that upcoming position, regular seat Civil Service Commission will open that application as well. Can we just say we'll have that open by tomorrow?
Well, it's open right now.
It's open right now.
Yeah, anybody can apply for any position on there, and it's that.
That's all for that committee.
Thank you. And the COG, Mr. Wozniak.
Yeah, for the call that we met last Thursday and we approved the minutes from the previous meeting. So typically the official minutes come to me the Friday before the next meeting. So the next meeting is going to be on June 11th. And so probably the Friday before that, I'll get those and I'll be sure to post that in the upcoming agenda on the OneDrive for everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Wozniak. Okay, community announcements. So our next council meeting is Thursday, June 11th at 7. And we still have the employment opportunity. Do we still have the crossing guard substitute employment opportunity?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, because school's going to be over, but I guess
Yeah,
this
but
is good.
the thing is they want to get the applications because they'd like to start the term fully complemented.
Okay, so definitely looking for a part-time crossing guard for Crafton Elementary, and you can apply online for that. This Saturday, as Ms. Bollenbacher had mentioned, we have the Felix Amendola bocce dedication and summer kickoff. There is a lot going on. We are also, besides this, there's going to be the Amendola family is going to be coming in from out of town. Senator Fontana is going to be coming. There's going to be press there too. So it's going to be a big event. So great way to start off the summer. And to actually, see your neighbors and have some fun playing bocce and just enjoying that day. So lots to come there. The Crafton Pool season passes, you can buy those online. If you're looking for a season pass, like we said, the pool's going to start opening on Monday. Then it will be full after that, every day after that. And then we have the Crafton Heritage 5K. This is the Thomas J. Witt Memorial Run Walk. That is Saturday, July 4th at 8 a.m. So registration is online, celebrating our nation's birthday. It will be a competitive and a casual walkers. Both will be able to participate. There's a pre-race pep rally on Friday, July 3rd at 6 at Cafe 412 Events. And everyone is invited to attend the spaghetti dinner. You do have to apply online, and they will approve that depending on how many runners are there. So if you don't run, you'll get less preferential treatment for the spaghetti dinner, meaning you may not get in. This is organized by Crafton Heritage, of course. But you can register online. They're still looking for runners. So make sure to get registered and then also register for the pep rally if you're available. All right.
Quick question.
Yeah.
With the pool season passes, those are only available on the website, not at the pool. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can't buy them at the pool at this time.
A few people would ask me, and I want to make sure.
You can come
Okay.
in the office, but
Must be purchased online, not at the.
or in the office, but go ahead.
Okay.
And you can come to the summer kickoff to win one.
Cool. Thank you.
Good. Public comment. At this time, citizens may address the Crafton Borough Council on any issue. Only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Crafton will be permitted to address the council. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson, represent them before the council, who may speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. Council has the option to respond or not at the end of the address. The solicitor is our assigned timekeeper. Please state your name and physical address for the record. So we had 2 people sign up. So our first one is Terry Voss. Is this on and everything? Terry, before you talk, let's make sure. Okay.
For you all. Okay. Hi, I'm Terry Voss, and I'm a resident of Crafton for over 12 years, and I live at 33 Thomas Street. And good evening. So there's 3 issues. Crafton Borough adopted the UCC and the IRC rules and renamed them the Borough of Crafton to enforce the building codes and impose fines. DJ refused to issue a permit for a fence, a roof, and did not enforce the fire rules that are actively happening at 33 Thomas Street in Crafton due to his incompetence as a building inspector, causing a severe life-threatening situation to me, my family, my neighbors in the Crafton Borough. So I'm demanding the Crafton Borough enforce the maximum penalties for 33 Thomas Street for 3 code violations. First issue. 2 years, I've asked the building inspector to enforce the 6-foot rule on fences and he refuses. 33 Thomas Street has plastic on the fence and it needs to be taken down because it does not comply with the materials that are used for fencing, nor does it meet the 6-foot rule. 33 Thomas Street took plastic signs from a garbage dump at Novum Designs on Steuben Street and attached them on the fence in his yard. The plastic these signs, they are not designed for a fence, nor are they fencing material. The second issue, 33 Thomas has an unsecured combustible fence post on his roof that is a fire hazard, and he has not enforced the fire code to have it removed off the roof. Third issue, Crafton requires a permit when a roof is being completed for every 25% of your roof, with which DJ refused to issue a permit to 33 Thomas Street. He gave a verbal okay on that on Friday. To install the roofing, you need a permit and the materials are Class A, Class B, or Class C on your roof. So DJ gave the verbal authorization to install plastic on the roof at 33 Thomas Street like the ghettos in India last Friday on May 22nd, which violates the UCC and IRC codes that were adopted by the Crafton Borough. I have pictures and code violations to provide you. A building inspector is to issue a permit to verify what materials are used and what the scope of the work is. DJ does not do that and is negligent. The fence work was never permitted. The 8-foot piece of plastic on the fence needs to be taken down immediately because it's over 6 feet tall. Fines and penalties need to be issued to ensure it is brought up to code. The combustible unsecured wooden post needs to be taken off the roof because it violates the fire code. The roof was never permitted for any type of work, which it should have been because it was almost 40% of the building that's insulated in heating with cooling, and it's not a separate structure. Illegal plastic roofing is not Class A, B, or C. Crafton Borough has a legal responsibility to have all this illegal plastic material immediately removed off the roof at 33 Thomas Street to prevent an injury to myself, my family, and others, which may include death if that plastic blows off on the next windstorm and hurts me and damages my property and my neighbor's property. So I'm requesting that a maximum penalty of $1,000 a day to be enforced to 33 Thomas Street to ensure that this building is brought up to code. DJ hasn't followed any of the rules with these 3 issues. His knowledge of rules shows he's not capable of being a fire and building inspector, and you, the board, have the power to fix this. And I'm asking you to employ a new building inspector who knows the rules and will enforce them. The borough and board.
It's been 4 minutes, so your time is up. If you could wrap.
So, I just want to know when the rules are going to be enforced. That's my question.
Thank you, Larry. So I don't know anything about the situation. Does anybody?
You guys want to?
Yeah, you can show. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Council, solicitor.
So what I'll do while Terry's handing those out, I'll make sure DJ watches this video so he has contacts what's going on and the direct messaging from Terry. I'm sure DJ is familiar with Terry, and we'll have him write a memo on this. There's a lot going on here. And the code book is a very thick book with a whole lot of code lingo in there. So this is really for DJ to write us a memo and brief us on what's going on.
Can I add one thing here? And that is that nobody, and maybe solicitor should mention this. Our power is not to enforce the penalties, that goes to the magistrate. Is that not correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Thank you.
And Terry, I know you were talking about 33 Thomas. You live on Thomas Street as well? Are you on 31 or you're on 31 or? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had the address. 35, okay.
I wrote that away from, it's completely illegal.
Gary, I'd also like to thank you for all the work you did to bring this to us. You really put a lot of work into it. You did your homework. That'll help us move this process along. Thanks.
Of everything you guys do.
Yeah, Terry, one
That's why
question.
I moved here.
Yeah, I just had a question too, and people aren't going to be able to hear you because you're not there, but are you attached? Because Thomas Street has all the attachments.
That you guys put up for the land sale. So,
Oh.
you know what?
37. Okay. Okay.
Well, not right. I think there's, I believe like, selling it to land companies is a bad deal. I believe you can make a lot more money. I mean, it's like all this happens. Those are fighting for that.
But John, 31 and 33 are attached.
31 and 33.
Yes, so and then 35, 37 are attached.
Okay.
Or at least the maps.
I'm 35.
Yeah.
So I'm 29 Thomas Street. My name is Maddie Grosso. But I'm here about the Airbnb.
Okay, go ahead.
And in the past, last year, I've spoken to Mr. Price and I've spoken to him. And before you were elected, you were on the bandwagon too. And their Airbnbs were supposed to be eliminated. And I was told last August they were. They have not been. Now I've been told it has to be a breakfast place. And all I'm asking for is that phone call to be made to the house next door that has his house listed as an Airbnb. And they're still continuing to have people there. And all I'm asking is for the phone call to be made so that he stops doing it. No way can that little house be a bed and breakfast. So can you please tell me if you'll make the phone call for me? Now, then I was told something about the law. Now, the law had to be already done and sealed and delivered because I spoke to my friend who works for a politician in another borough. And obviously, you already must have spoken to your people with the law. So this had already gone through. So can you please tell me?
Well, wait, you can go through your whole thing, then we'll respond.
That's basically my main thing here, on top of my thing about the plastic stuff on that issue as well. The gentleman lives in Florida, the guy next door that owns the house for the Airbnb. He does not live here. He lives in Florida and he does his thing. But I'll also mention, which I don't know if it has anything to do with what's going on, but I was cited by, I think, Cash Patel for my sidewalk, and I had it done yesterday, and it was raining hard in the morning, and they put a thing, and I mistakenly put it on his lawn, and from Florida, he was looking at his Ring camera, and they had some cleaners, because I think someone's coming for the weekend, and he was making a big hissy fit. And when I came out, I'm like, oh God, because they put it on his lawn instead of my lawn. So I called Caesar Christmas yesterday and dotted my I's and crossed my T's, because I said, oh my God, he's having a fit on his, from Florida, on his Ring camera. Oh my God. So I just want you to know this is what's going on. And you know, I've had 20 years of living on the street and not had any problems. And so, you know, I don't want to have to move because of all this, especially after putting a $3,000 sidewalk chunk on. You know, so can you please make a phone call? Please, please, and now please advise, who's supposed to make the phone call?
What is the house number? What's the house number?
I gave
So,
31,
say, Maddie, you live at 29. Is it? Okay, 31.
it's 31. I gave Greg, I gave you his name, Randy Dunlop.
I passed all that along. Maddie, I got everything you gave me and I passed it along.
Yeah, let her finish, give the time, and then we will respond.
Yes. So can you give me some feedback here?
Okay, sure, thank you. Yes, so we'll be able to respond. Okay, yeah.
So here's the update, just so council is aware, going back to prior to adoption of the new zoning code, we were totally silent on all things Airbnbs. So there were no laws to regulate Airbnbs in Crafton. In the new zoning code, it prohibits Airbnbs within residential areas. So that is the first law on the books to regulate Airbnbs. So the question arose, and there's an email string with me, Greg, Maddie, Jim, and I think John's on the string as well. I could be wrong. I can't remember who's on. I know it's at least me, Greg, Jim, and Maddie. So the question arose whether or not this old B&B on Thomas qualifies as a non-conforming use, which would essentially mean it's grandfathered in. But that gets ambiguous because there were no laws on the books regulating B&Bs prior to the zoning code, the new zoning code. So solicitor's office, courtesy of Anna, did some research. And I need to answer a few questions. She responded back late yesterday afternoon. There's a couple of open questions here, but all things being equal, if those questions don't disqualify it for different reasons, it probably needs a notice of violation. So.
Yes.
So I just need a little more research time to answer those questions. And if you want to elaborate on that. I don't remember the questions off the top of my head, but there's a couple of questions that I do need to look into. Yeah.
You know that the last visitor urinated on the street. Yeah, that was the other thing.
Okay, guys, yeah.
They're crap.
We can keep chatting with you guys after the meeting if you want. Yeah, no, my question was just around the addresses, so that's all I wanted to clarify.
Is anybody else? Linda?
Linda Wozniak, 1773 Bar. On what portion of the website or otherwise can residents find out the current Linwood or Noble Parks plan? Is that posted anywhere?
I don't know that it is.
I could not find it, but if you'd let me know, that'd be great. Moving forward, could somebody please correct eminent domain to be an E instead of an imminent domain? It persists, and I thought maybe it would get cleaned up. And then other than the slide replacement, what are the other pool improvements covered under the grant that we currently have? And what was the reason for not opening on Memorial Day at the pool? I had heard it was storm damage. I know it was postponed 2 days because of weather. Totally understand that, but I'd be curious to know why that pushed again. Thank you.
Great. So we have, the first one is the Linwood Noble Park plan on the website.
Yeah, we have talked about that in public meetings, but I don't know that we've posted it. We can make sure that it gets posted tomorrow.
We're talking like the maps and whatever
Just the
that
map.
yeah, the layouts, the site plan, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
we should get it up there if it's not there.
Yep, you can do that.
The eminent domain, if the pool improvements under the grant, and we've gone through those several times. They're in the minutes of
Yeah.
the other meetings.
Yes, the pool improvements, the main pool improvements are a new slide, a pavilion, roofing, and then small.
Air condition.
And then a bunch of smaller ones like ADA. Well, the pavilion is ADA compliant. That's what you're saying?
And there's a lift that can go into.
Yeah, so the smaller things, the ADA lift, that'll get purchased during the year. Air conditioning for the concession stand will get purchased during the year. And a awning on top of the concession stand. I think are the main ones. There might be some other smaller ones, but I don't remember them off the top of my head.
And then the Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day was closed because a tree split in half in the middle of the on the side there and we were gonna have to have someone come and remove it. And then there were some other smaller additional issues that combined, we just decided it wasn't worth opening. Thank you. All right. Chris.
Hi, Chris McCormick, 501 Clearview Avenue. My question is regarding DeSoto Road. If the borough decides to take over, I guess that road for any reason, would we be committing ourselves to any sort of maintenance or possibly providing utilities to anyone along that road if we decide to recognize it officially? I don't really need an answer, just a question in case it affects borough finances or anything in the future. Thank you.
Guys are talking really fast.
If the borough takes over the road, we would be responsible for maintenance, but not for the installation of utilities. Those are between the property owners and the utility companies.
And we already do maintain it.
Basically, right?
Basically, yeah.
It's like a gravel road.
It's a gravel. Yep.
Another reason that accepting it makes good sense.
Okay, anybody else? All right, anybody online, please raise your hand. Oh, no.
Still alone on there.
Okay, it is 8:11. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.